Guys, I've been busy on the trails instead of doing videos, but now it's time to roll up the garage door at Palmer Motorsports Park for a track day. That's my 1299R on the right there. This is the riders meeting. Everybody wore masks and was socially distant and socially distanced. Gotta be both. Rolling up to the start line here for session number 1. This is the fast group. And, well, let's see what we got. We roll out 2 by 2. Here's the traditional Namaste, first session of the day, breathe in, breathe out instruction. That didn't get us too far. That guy who just took off in front of me, by the way, in the white leathers, he never stops talking all weekend. And one of my big projects every weekend at a track day is to find a garage space far away from that guy. Never stops talking. Speaking of never stopping talking, how about me? This is turn 1. We're running in clockwise direction. That's a very high speed right, flips over into this blind left, then a long double apex right. I take this at about 55, 60 miles an hour. You edge out and then back into the second apex, bring it over to the left. That wall right there with the tires on it, looks like it's about 5 feet away from the edge of the track, but it's not. Short shoot here, right up into third gear. I didn't get this corner right all day. That second cone right there is the actual apex. This is a steep uphill to a blind kink, which scares the crap out of me, mostly because of, did I mention the wall on the outside? Looks really close, especially when you're going 90 miles an hour. This is a great turn right here. This is pretty steeply uphill and a little bit tighter than it looks. So you can really carry a lot of speed in there and let the hill slow you down. Another blind left here. You see that telephone pole right there. I always think that the track goes to the right of that telephone pole. It actually goes to the left. Plunge downhill into this chicane here. Missed that dark pavement patch on the outside. It's kind of bumpy. Snap it back to the left. And this is a tight turn, one of the slower turns on the track, opens up into one of the fastest turns on the track and one I really like, especially in the other direction. I topped out here about 110, I think, on the day, although I think you could probably do about 20, 25, no problem. This is the last long arcing right, short shoot here, and final turn back onto the front straight, which, if you see it from here, the straight is not straight. Oh, and by the way, concrete wall off to your right. There's the finish line right there. Now, I've done a lot of racing at Loudon, which is, I guess, a very dangerous track, but I gotta say this one feels more dangerous to me. The whole thing is lined with concrete wall, and from time to time, people go off the track, and it's not far from the track to the wall. So if you look at the corner station up here on the right to a slow-mo, well, look, you're waving a red flag. That means somebody went into the wall. For example, at the bottom of this very fast downhill right, I see there is a tire in the track because somebody didn't brake and went plowing straight into that tire wall. That's not what I wanted to see the very first session of the day. What about Namaste, guys? All right, lined up again for the second session of the day. The guy in the green t-shirt is Tony of Tony's Trackdays. He's down there to ride herd and tell everybody to smarten up and stop crashing. Of course, all of us lined up here are the people who didn't crash. Nonetheless, he's right to give us a heads up and tell everyone to just calm down. That's my advice. Calm down. Let's listen to the Ducati coming out of pit lane here. So, right out of the gate, I remember why it's important to always be the first guy in line. Because if you're not, you get stuck behind guys like this. Now, he's a perfectly nice guy, I think. I believe he's Canadian, which I'm sure means he's very polite and says he's sorry a lot. But he doesn't need to say he's sorry so much. He just needs to, give a little room for a guy to pass. It's a track day. It's not a race. He's a track day guy. He's not a racer. I don't want to spook him and put a pass on him like I might if, back when I was a younger man. So I patiently wait, and it's tough because I don't exactly know what line he's going to take. At a track day, sometimes you take the safer line instead of the fastest line. And if you guess the guy is going to take one and he takes the other, it can cause problems. So I'm trying to be patient, although I gotta say, patience is wearing thin. A couple of these turns, he really slows down. This was one. Like, I'm not a fast guy, but you gotta be faster than this. As I'm getting a good look at it now, wait, is that a Ducati? Or maybe it's not even a Ducati. Is he even allowed to ride on the track if it's not a Ducati? Oh, I'm even more outraged than I was on the track. But pretty soon I'll be able to use the power of the Ducati to make the safest pass possible, which is going down the straightaway. It's the safest possible. I wouldn't say it's the safest, because if you look off to my right, you'll see there's a concrete retaining wall designed for cars, not people and bikes. Okay, here we go. So believe it or not, that was actually really mild for the Ducati. I realized later I had the engine turned down. But the good news is that the guy that just passed me is Aaron. And Aaron is kind of like, he's like the Yoda of Tony's Trackdays. Very fast guy, very smooth, capable, and really excited to follow him. Trying to nail him back, especially to learn this turn here, which I struggled with all day. Of course, I got a little surprise here. Check out the corner worker. Any flag there? I don't see any flag, but maybe there should have been a flag, because right up here on the racing line, there's a guy standing next to a bike he just crashed on the racing line in the middle of the track. Alright, so that session ended, and now the green flag's out again. You know what they say, the bullshit stops when the green flag drops. Now, I was all fired up and complaining a minute ago about a guy on a Ducati holding me up. It turned out it wasn't a Ducati. But you know why I thought it was a Ducati? Because I was thinking of this guy. This guy's on a Ducati. He has no excuse. This guy is Canadian, and I'm sure he's not sorry. He's sorry. But he doesn't even know what I'm angry about. I'm angry about the fact that you're going 10 to 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour slower than you should be going. If you're going to go that slow, leave room for me to get by you, buddy. Anyway, alright, stand by for a little Ducati on Ducati action. I basically just follow this guy around because I'm too scared to pass him. Every once in a while he does things I'm totally not expecting. On the plus side, there's no crashed bike here, no guy standing in the middle of the track. It's a big improvement. Up the hill here, and normally here I'd be doing about 95, and then back down to about 70, 65 in this turn, so we're super slow here. This left is a lot of fun once you get it right. And up, this is actually a big crest, and then it goes down into this tight right-left combination. Whoa, this guy is really on the brakes. Actually, I had to go around the pavement patch that time. Alright, I'm going to stop talking before I say something I regret. So believe it or not, like I said before, that's actually really mild for this bike. I couldn't figure out why it was not pulling at the end of the straight. And you'll see later on I changed the engine mode from low to medium. The bike really wakes up. And I caught Aaron. No, I didn't catch Aaron. I caught a whiff of Aaron. And a couple of turns from him. And then got a pretty good rhythm going, which looked something like this. No sooner did I get into a nice rhythm again, and if you look at the top of the hill off to the left, what's that? Another waving red flag. So I'm riding around the track trying to figure out, first of all, please let nobody be hurt. Second of all, like what part of the concrete wall did somebody plow into? And then, much to my surprise, off to the left here, on a straight, basically, that's a guy sitting next to his crashed bike. How do you crash there at a track day? I don't understand sometimes. Anyway, so back in the garage here, I figure out I go into my modes, change my engine from low to medium, and that made a huge difference. I don't know how many horsepower it's worth, but I bet you it's probably like 50. So now I'm on the full 200 horsepower. Cycling through the laps here, you can see I was chipping away on the times. I was chuckling to myself actually watching this back. I'm just, I guess, more methodical than I realized. I did a 58, a 55, a 54, I think a 53 and a 52, all with more or less the same top speed on the straight. So I'm just chipping away, going a little bit faster. And the good news is I kept going a little bit faster, and didn't crash, so I knew when to stop. All right, green flag is out for the next session. Let's see what we got here. So the engine mode change was a vast improvement. The bike is way more fun to ride. It's pretty fun just with the mild engine, but man, this thing's a rocket ship, and I'm feeling it. A lot racier than I was before. Let's see how we do on the straight here. Yeah, engine modes matter, correct. So before my high speed had been like 137. Now I'm easily to 150, even passing that guy. That's a huge difference, and it feels every single mile an hour of that. It is tricky not to get impatient at these track days. To sneak by here. I mean, these guys are so much slower than I am, but we're just having fun, right? I don't want to be a total dick. I'll be a little bit of a dick, but not a total dick. It's a fine balance on the track and in life. trackside at the top of this hill and take the left, it looks like that. There you go. So I don't know if it's obvious to you guys, but to me listening, I can feel how much more intense I am riding, and this is a little sketchy here. I'm just trying to figure out, is this guy going to the edge of the track? No? Okay. I'm so much faster, braking so much later, but if he decided he was going to go to the edge of the track, could have aced me out. Anyway, engine mode turned up. My attitude is greatly improved. Oddly enough, my corner speeds are higher. I don't know if my lap times were any better, but measured in terms of having fun, which at my age is how I measure all things, it was much better. Much, much better. Just hunting this guy down here, but they're going to throw the checkered flag for the end of the session. You can barely see it, a little bit. It's a little tough on the GoPro, but at the corner worker station here at the top of that corner, it actually is waving the checkered flag. But I think it was right about here I started to feel a dirt bike injury, to be shown in a forthcoming video. Right around my ribs, that was really hurting me. Interestingly enough, it really hurt when I put the front brakes on hard and had the effect of making me release the brake when I needed it the most. So that was interesting. But I got over it. I complained about it though. Heading out now. My rib cage muscles are killing me. Let's see how it goes. See that guy coming out of the start house? When he comes out, it's like when the zookeeper comes out with all the food. The animals go crazy. Check that out. How fast is Leon going? He's a great guy. He actually has the garage next to mine, and that's on purpose because neither one of us talks a lot. It's serious business at the track day. He's on a brand new Honda, and he's got new tires on it. Finally put slicks on it, which he prefers. And man, he is just gone. I will say, as my excuse, my ribs very painful, but not taking anything away from the guy. You can see. I'm not doing bad lap times. This looks like about a 52 maybe. And I mean, he's like a speck in the distance. One of the things I really like about Trackdays is following the faster riders. There's one coming up here now, one of the control riders. You can tell by the jersey he's wearing. can't quite stay with him today, or at least not in this afternoon session here, but trying to mimic his lines, etc. Watching it back, it reminds me I've got lots of areas to improve, but I also really do enjoy getting out on the track, particularly on this bike. It's a little bit dominated by the motor, but the suspension is fantastic. The handling is actually quite good. It's not the easiest bike to ride, but it's got all the electronics, and if you pay very close attention to the dash, you'll see one little flicker of orange as I bank it to the right, just right there. That's actually the traction control. So I had it turned way down. I don't see that orange light a lot, and I rarely notice it when I'm riding. I don't know if I ever have, in fact. But I was happy to see it flicker there at that 105-mile-an-hour kink, just saving me from myself. Thank you very much. Staying with this guy a little bit better than I expected. Oh wait, oh no, there he goes. Never mind. I guess maybe the pain went away for a minute, so I was all excited to find my way around this track. You know, once you find your way around and you get your marks down, you know where you're supposed to be, then you can really hammer, and you get more into the zone. It becomes more of a meditation type thing. You do it, you know, almost from memory. I'm still kind of finding my way around at this point. Yes, he is definitely gone. In this downhill braking zone here, really tough. Thread the needle between that outside, that dark patch right there. Scoot right down here. You can gas it just a little bit. Then this is really tight left. And I accelerate very hard out of here. I also see that guy up the road, so I'm even harder on the gas, and then traction control light just for a second there at 109 miles an hour. I'm glad I did not spin up the back end and high side, because there's a huge rock wall there, which I would not want to hit at anything close to 109 miles an hour. And back on the straight, let's see if I can catch that joker right there. Okay, maybe a little facetious to be all excited about that pass. That was pretty easy. Just open the gas, pretty much. I'm scrambling to try to catch that instructor, and I can see I'm railing through here. He's taught me a couple of lines. I want to learn a few more. I missed the downshift coming into this turn here. I guess I was a little bit rushed. Should definitely be in third or maybe even second through here. It just all makes me want to get back out there. Open the gas again, make some improvements, correct some of the mistakes I'm seeing here, and enjoy this fantastic bike on this great track. Those of you who know who you are invited to come out. I've got a bike you can borrow, and I'll spot you a tank of gas. Airfare's on you though. I hope everybody is safe and healthy and just really bored with the lockdown. I'll leave you with just a little more Ducati time here on the front straight. See you for the next one, guys.